Wife is very angry at my unemployed brother. I don't know what to do. Your brother sounds somewhere on the spectrum and it is a difficult situation for all. Your wife isn't helping and in the end this is between your brother and your parents. This business of she forces you to take back a gift doesn't make her look any better. Who takes back a gift after a year? That's crazy. I'll agree with her on one thing. You should stay somewhere else. I'd be keeping them far apart. You'll all be much happier. Your wife knows your parents won't be around forever and knows you will further enable his learned helplessness behavior by wanting brother to come live with you. I'd want to find the deeper issue. Is your wife concerned your brother will become your and her burden or is going to use up inheritance? She might be acting passive-aggressively for those concerns. If it's not that, she just needs to shut up. Your brother needs help. I say this with the utmost respect. I'm 24 and living at home still, but based on what you described it sounds like your brother is a shut-in, which is not healthy at all. Eventually he's going to have to come out of his shell and find a job, an apartment, etc. He may not like it, but somebody needs to step in and point him in the right direction before it's too late. Who will take care of him when your parents are gone? That might be what she's worried about. Look, I don't have much room to talk because for the longest time I was sort of in your brother's position. But at least I clean. I cook. I do chores. I fix things that break. And now I'm doing what I can to get a job. And finally get my license. He should at least do what he can around the house. Games are fun, but it feels so much better to do things for mom so she doesn't have to. Honestly, I would stay at a nearby hotel to avoid any drama. Give your family some space and enjoy the time with them when it allows for it. I think your wife is concerned about what is gonna happen to him when your parents are gone. That's what she thinks about it. Maybe he's battling some demons you guys don't know about? Try get him some help maybe? You never know what's happening in someone's head, man. They won't always tell you. Just letting him hang around isn't good either. So maybe take him out one day and get him to open up a little. If I was your wife, I'd be worrying that a deadbeat brother-in-law who lives with his parents will eventually become a deadbeat brother-in-law who lives with me. He is often very disrespectful to my parents and verbally abused them. When he go outside he talks with the most respect and friendliest voice. All around he has a good heart. I also wouldn't be a fan of someone who mooches off their parents at 38 years old and verbally abused them, but then chooses to be respectful and friendly to other people. Your wife is probably thinking that's going to be her future when your parents are no longer able to live in their home or pass away. Sounds like your brother has long-running, unaddressed mental issues. This sounds like chronic depression combined with possible mild autism or ADHD. Things that only perpetuate each other if they are left hanging. It's up to you and your family to address that. Sounds like it's something that's been ignored and brushed under the carpet for too long. I would have been your brother if my family didn't implode when I was 19 and my friends didn't drag me out to live with them. Your wife might not be wrong at the core, but it sounds like she's going about it the wrongest way possible. When you visit your folks, you should start using a hotel. Your brother sounds like the type who doesn't want responsibility and can't work because he's too shy. Like major social anxiety and hides in the house all day. Or he has no confidence in himself. He's scared to work and is terrified of screwing up and failing, which paralyzes him so he doesn't even bother trying. What will happen when your parents die? I assume your bro will still live in that house. But who will pay for the bills, property tax, and buy groceries? You, I guess. Your wife will be furious. But what else can you do? Unless a major life change forces him to get up and finally want to work. If not and he's still a hermit, you'll have to take care of his needs. You wouldn't want your own brother to starve and be homeless. My spouse had a relative exactly the same way as your brother. He lived with his mom, who cooked for him. But when his mom became too old to grocery shop, his siblings came over and brought pasta and canned foods and instant noodles, etc., which either he or his mom cooked. In the end, he died first. Your brother might be autistic and might not develop further without professional help by someone who understands people on the spectrum. Source: that's my job. And I've had far too many clients who have been limited in life by well-meaning parents who act as caregivers indefinitely. Stop enabling your brother. Your parents should do the same also. What happens to your brother when your parents pass or are unable to take care of him? Are you going to take responsibility now? I agree with your wife here, man. He's eating into your parents' retirement while contributing literally nothing? Not to be mean, but that's like the actual definition of a deadbeat. What's he going to do when they die and he has no work experience or life skills? Move in with you and your wife? I'm sure she'd love that. Knowing little about your family dynamic. This would piss me off too for a few reasons. First, I'd be annoyed with him for taking advantage of them. I'd be frustrated that your parents seem to be content letting him go through life like this. Mostly, I'd be pissed knowing that when your parents pass, someone is going to have to care for him. And who else will do it but you too? She likely didn't marry you thinking she might one day be financially sucked dry by your grown ass brother when you two should be in the phase of planning for your own retirement. He may be dealing with some intense anxiety, depression, etc. that is causing this situation, but it is definitely well past time to get some help. Oof. I have a brother like this. Except he has some physical and mental disabilities that make it slightly less problematic. It's still not a good situation though. We just don't visit my parents. For a slew of reasons. This being one of them. If we did visit, I would never stay at their house. I think your wife is being a tad extreme. But I don't know how much you can change how she feels about it. Maybe best to just keep them separated as much as possible. The way I see it, it's not her business, her life. It's your parents and your brothers. How does this actually affect her? That's the part I'm not getting. My partner actually has a nephew in a similar situation too. Not quite the same family dynamic, but we do see my partner's sister and the nephew. And for my part, one, just stay out of it. I think a few things need to happen here. 1. I understand your wife's anger. Assume it is probably born out of care for your parents. That said, it's not her battle to fight. It's between your parents and your brother. She shouldn't try to actively make his life harder. E.g., by taking away his phone. Making his life harder in general will make the situation worse. She needs to take a few deep breaths and keep calm. 2. Your brother needs to mature and become independent. I know a couple of people who are in my parents' generation and they are still living with their parent. If he never takes action to change his position, he will never be independent. He needs to do that. But he may need a hand getting started. I.e., help him get out to lunch, then out for a walk, then write a resume and apply for a job, etc. Baby steps. He could also be battling mental health issues. We have no idea if he is close to breaking point or just lazy. Worth noting that he may need help, support, encouragement with seeing a professional about that. Nobody wants to be a burden. At least I have trouble imagining that. 3. Your parents might need to push him along a bit, help him find his feet, get a job, move out with roommates or alone. 4. None of this is your responsibility. As the family member of all, your job is to be on standby if you want to and support your family when needed. But they need to take responsibility for themselves in the above.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. TooAfraidToAsk is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.